Most of you have watched the Project Camelot interviews that I've done. And you are aware that I have had extraordinary ET contacts for most of my life, and that I still have those contacts up until the present day. So I'm going to share some things with you that I haven't shared publicly up to this point. I only have an hour. I never write down a speech or know what it is exactly that I'm going to talk about before I walk into a room, so hopefully I'll stay on track. 21 years ago, when I was taken on board a craft in the physical body, I was physically taken and walked on board a UFO. This really amazing knowledge was imparted to me about how we were all connected. And you know, these are simple words. We are all one. If you were to sit down and meditate for the rest of your life on that one sentence, we are all one, you would still never fully understand the concept that we are all one. So people write books and they make it complicated, and they say we're all one and we're all connected and, you know, all of these things, and they make it complicated. But it's not. It's very simple. We are one people, and that doesn't mean people in the United States. It doesn't mean people in Canada from where I'm from. It means people all around the world. We are one people. And we need to take responsibility for ourselves in our actions for what it is that we are doing to walk into this future that we are heading towards. Now, this is actually one of the main messages that I received from these tall, blonde ETs in 1988, is that there would come a time when humanity would be walking into a time of choice. And you're choosing right now what future it is that you want. We cannot change the world in one day. We cannot change our financial system in one swoop. We cannot even break it down. We can't destroy it because it's what we have. So what can we do? I didn't listen to all of George Green's presentation. I know that he talks about the financial situation quite a bit, and he's very knowledgeable. He's an amazing instrument to be able to come forward and give you this knowledge of the steps that we're taking in order to change the system. Because every time an individual makes the decision and makes the choice and acts on it and becomes responsible to change their financial situation, to change the way that we're living daily life in a monetary system, the way that we're living life and with our food production, all of these issues, and there are many, when they all come together, in all of those little bits and pieces, it becomes the change that we need to have. Now, going back to the ETs, they said that we would come into this time of choice, and that was the first part. One of the second things that they said is that during this time of choice, a lot of people would become crazy. And let me tell you, if you know people around you, they're losing their minds. And I'm going to tell you why they're losing their minds. And it's going to get a little bit technical. When I take responsibility for myself, I basically raise the vibrational level of my physical body and my spiritual body combined. Those two things, when I walk out into the world, and I'm walking around here at the conference, and you maybe walk up to me and you feel something, that's that energy that I'm letting flow through me, and you do it as well, every single person does. It flows through us, and it's like walking along and letting droplets fall beside you. It's drops of my energy that are melting into yours, and with that energy comes information. So every single person here is being responsible and making a difference just by sitting in this room and listening to these speakers. Because every time you are with other people, you are sharing your knowledge here. So don't panic and think that you need to tell everyone everything all the time, because I get this from a lot of people. I want to tell everybody. It's not necessary. You show them who you are through your actions, through your emotions, through your physical body, through your spiritual self. That's how you make a change. The reason that people are going crazy is because if you have a person who is not willing to make this change along with us, who wants to stay in a really materialistic world and wants nothing but 5 cars and the super mansion and so forth, well, they're not going to be accepting this energy very well, and it's going to drive them a bit mental. So what we need to do is we need to have patience with the people around us. And this was a really big point that these ETs made with me, is that during this particular time that we're going through, and this is going to be over the course of several years, by the way. This is not going to be ending next year. It's not going to be ending in 2012. It's going to be over the course of the next 10, 15, 20 years. So buckle down, because this is just the beginning. You are the people who are going to lead the others into this new world that we're walking into. So we need to take care of ourselves spiritually. We need to take care of ourselves mentally, but with the knowledge. And this is, it sounds really simple, doesn't it? But it makes a huge impact. I know in my own personal life, which is the only thing that I can talk about, is even if I walk into a room, people know that I'm different. I don't have to say a single word. And eventually, when they find out that I've had these contacts, and prior to me being forthright with people about my contact, with my psychic abilities that I have, which are extensive, they would say, "Oh, I knew there was something really weird about you." I just, and they'd go on, and they said, "Man, now it all makes sense." So this is a very important point, that the ETs need people to understand that it is a personal responsibility of the soul that we need to first and foremost address in order for us to make an impact. 21 years ago, I'm on board this craft. They tell me, they said, one day there are people, a particular group of people that I will find, and that when I do, I will know what to do. And I did find those people, and they're very special people. And I don't talk about them very much, but they are the Hopi. And I know that the Hopi are only one of these very special people on the planet, one group of them within the indigenous community. And these individuals, their physical bodies may have been born here and have come from here, but their actual DNA and structure and forms of the human body came from what I call the last world. If you would like to call it Atlantis, or if you would like to call it Lemuria, or so forth, you go ahead. I'm not going to get into it, because you know what? Quite frankly, it is not important. What is important is that these people, these indigenous people from around the world, when they originally came to this world, were the first people on this earth. And that they were allowed to come here because they were given an opportunity to come. They were asked, "Do you want to come and be taken off the planet while we cleanse it of this negative forces that have taken over?" And they came, and they're the stewards of this land, this earth. They are the caretakers, the original caretakers. If people understood how much struggle these people have around the world to maintain what it is that they have. Yes, they live in poverty. Yes, and I'm not talking about Hopi, I'm talking about everywhere. They live in poverty. They have struggled through repression. They don't have proper schooling. They have a lot of problems with the same issues that we have in the rest of the world, with alcohol and drugs and so forth. But make no mistake that even through all of that, if you meet an alcoholic that is an indigenous person, you still know that they are special. if you sit and listen to them. And what is that?